Nora and the Melody Mountain. Nora was a curious 9-year-old girl who loved music so much that she carried a small wooden flute everywhere she went, and one sunny Saturday morning she decided to follow the little river behind her village to see if the stories about Melody Mountain were true, because her grandmother always said that on that mountain every rock could sing if someone played a kind tune. Nora packed her yellow backpack with an apple, a bottle of water, her flute, and her sketchbook. Then called to her best friend, Biscuit the rabbit, who hopped happily at her heels as she walked along the sparkling riverbank. Dragonflies buzzed over the water like tiny blue helicopters, and Nora greeted them politely, believing good manners made the world brighter. After an hour she reached a stone bridge covered with soft green moss, where an old frog wearing a leaf hat sat croaking gentle rhythms, and when Nora played a short melody on her flute to say hello, the frog croaked in perfect time, almost like a drum, then pointed a webbed finger toward the forest path that curved up the mountain. Nora thanked him, crossed the bridge, and began the climb. Noticing how tall pine trees swayed like quiet dancers in the breeze while birds chirped cheerful notes overhead, halfway up the trail she found a hedgehog named Hazel who looked worried because a fallen branch blocked the entrance to her burrow. So Nora and Biscuit worked together, Nora pushing with all her strength and Biscuit tugging at smaller twigs with his teeth, until the doorway was clear. Hazel sighed with relief, gifted Nora a tiny silver bell from her collection, and whispered that the bell would help her find the true singing stones near the top. With a grateful smile Nora tied the bell to her flute case and continued climbing, listening to its soft ring that matched her quickening heartbeat. Soon the path grew steeper, and clouds rolled in, hiding the sun for a moment. But Nora remembered her teacher's words, that courage is like a song, it grows louder when shared. So she whistled a bright tune, and Biscuit thumped his feet in rhythm to keep their spirits high. At last they stepped onto a wide ledge close to the summit, where huge flat rocks lay scattered like sleeping giants, each one painted with faint spiral patterns. Nora's bell began to chime louder, and she knew she had found the legendary singing stone garden. She placed her flute to her lips and played the gentle lullaby her grandmother once used to help her sleep. Immediately the stone under her feet hummed a low note. The rock beside it answered with a higher pitch, and soon every stone joined in, creating a deep, beautiful chord that wrapped around Nora like a warm blanket. Amazed, she played a faster tune, and the stones responded with lively echoes that bounced between the cliffs, sounding like a hidden orchestra. Biscuit's ears twitched with excitement, and he hopped from rock to rock, causing little tinkling notes wherever his paws landed. Suddenly Nora noticed one large stone in the center that stayed silent, its spiral darker than the rest, and she felt a tug of sadness. Thinking perhaps the stone had forgotten its voice, she knelt beside it and gently tapped the silver bell, letting its clear tone drift across the quiet surface, then played a soft, slow melody filled with kindness and hope. After a long breath the stone glowed faintly, then answered with a rich, warm note so deep that the ground vibrated. All the other stones fell silent as if listening, and the silent stone began to sing a gentle hymn that rose into the sky, pushing away the last clouds and bringing back the bright afternoon sun. Golden light bathed the garden, and wildflowers opened around the ledge as though applauding. Tears of joy filled Nora's eyes, and she promised the stones she would visit again. She drew quick sketches in her book to remember every spiral pattern, then shared her apple with Biscuit before starting the journey down. On the way they met Hazel again, who clapped her tiny paws when Nora told her the quiet stone had found its voice, and the hedgehog taught Nora a short tune that could call friendly animals if she ever felt lonely. At sunset Nora and Biscuit crossed the mossy bridge, where the frog played a happy rhythm to welcome them back, and fireflies lit the path home. In the village square Nora's neighbors gathered to hear her story. And when she played the new tune, dogs wagged their tails, cats purred, and even the wind seemed to dance. Nora's grandmother hugged her tightly and said, "The mountain sings because your heart listens," then hung the silver bell above the fireplace so its gentle ring could remind everyone that kindness and music can wake silent voices everywhere. That night, as Nora drifted to sleep, she dreamed of shining stars that rang like tiny bells, and she knew many more songs and mountains waited for Her brave, listening heart